Today we back to Macbeth, Act 2, Scene 3. This is a rather long scene, so we are here in the second part. The comic relief has happened, the horrific deed has been found out, and Macduff and Macbeth and everyone, Banquo, Lennox, all the gentlemen are rushing forward to the king's chamber where he lies dead. So let's see. Lady Macbeth got up. Lady Macbeth, what's the business that such a hideous trumpet calls to parley? The sleepers of the house, speak, speak. So Lady Macbeth, she is, acting very innocent, very surprised. She's like, why is the trumpet being blown? Why is everybody asked to awake at this hour? It is not morning yet. What has happened? Macduff, O gentle lady, 'tis not for you to hear what I can speak. The repetition in a woman's ear would murder as it fell. So this is irony. Macduff tells Lady Macbeth that you are a gentle lady, and what I have to convey to you is such a piece of news that would be murder to even listen to it. So you can see that contrast where she is quite villainous, quite a horrendous lady. Here, Macduff thinks of her as the gentler sex, the very innocent woman. So Banquo comes in. Enter Banquo. Oh, Banquo, Banquo, our royal master's murdered. So Macduff tells Banquo that King Duncan has been murdered. Lady Macbeth, oh, alas, what in our house? So she is exclaiming, what in my house? Is he murdered under my roof? Here too we see a rather narcissistic quality of the lady, that the murder is not striking her as a murder alone, but death under my house. So this is a show of great sadness. Banquo, too cruel anywhere. Dear Duff, I prithee contradict thyself, and say it is not so. Re-enter Macbeth and Lennox and Ross. So Banquo answers her, too cruel a deed, whichever house it may be performed in. Wherever the king lies dead, the deed itself is so horrifying. So now all of them have entered. Macbeth, had I but died an hour before this chance, I had lived a blessed time, for from this instant there's nothing serious in mortality. So Macbeth now he makes a very eloquent and grand speech. He says that I wish I had died at least 1 hour before this. If only I had died an hour earlier, I would have lived and died a happy man. I would not have had to face this horrible news. And there is nothing serious in mortality. From this moment on, there is nothing that is meaningful in life. All is but toys. Everything is frivolous. Renown and grace is dead. Renown and grace is personified in Duncan, is finished from this moment. The wine of life is drawn, and the mere lees is left this vault to brag of. So the wine is emptied from the glass, and the mere dregs of it is remaining. There is nothing pleasurable or nothing meaningful in life. So here we see the contrast in the way which Banquo or Macduff speaks. Compare it with Macbeth. And in this comparison, you will find that when there is true sadness, people are plain spoken. You do not have the presence of mind to be dramatic. You do not use flowery language. You see how Macbeth is using such a language that is, he wants to show how dear Duncan is to him. Whereas Banquo merely says, our royal master is murdered. He says it in the plainest speech. So, but here, a very interesting fact is that long before existentialism came into being as a theory, Shakespeare has already brought it forth in his works. Here, Macbeth is telling a bunch of lies, but at the same time, This is truth. When he says that there is nothing serious in mortality, he's trying to fool the people around him. But he is uttering the truth that from this moment, Macbeth has taken away meaning from his life. This is Eliot's wasteland. This is nothingness. This is Godot's existentialism. So, from this moment onwards, he will find that his life lacks meaning. Enter Malcolm and Donalbain. Donalbain, what is amiss? Macbeth, you are and do not know it. The spring, the head, the fountain of your blood is stopped, the very source of it is stopped. So again, the flowery language continues. He says, the spring, the head, the fountain of your blood, the very source of your creation, your very venerable father is dead. He tells those two sons. Now both the sons are shocked. Macduff, Macduff again in contrast, look out for Macduff's language. Your royal father is murdered. That is all he says. Your royal father is murdered. Malcolm, oh, by whom? Lennox, those of his chamber, as it seemed, had done it. Their hands and faces were edged with blood. So were the daggers which unwiped we found upon their pillows. They stared and were distracted. No man's life was to be trusted with them. So Lennox then answers that it is the chamberlains, the guards of your royal father's chamber. They killed him. We found the daggers, the bloody daggers were lying on their pillow and they were in an intoxicated state. They were in no condition to protect or guard anyone. It is their fault. Macbeth, oh, yet I do repent me of my fury that I did kill them. So Macbeth then confesses, now I do regret that in my fury, in my anger, I have killed them. So you know the real reason why Macbeth has killed them is he does not want them to testify or to speak out. He does not want any evidence. And so this hero or anti-hero has now placed the blood of three innocent men on his hands. Initially, we know that he was reluctant to kill Duncan in his sleep, saying that I do not want to kill an unarmed man. But now he's killed two more. There are three murders now on his conscience. Macduff, very surprised. Wherefore did you so? Why did you do that? How could you do it? We were supposed to question them. We were supposed to find out the reason behind this murder. Macbeth, who can be wise, amazed, temperate, and furious, loyal and neutral, all in a moment? Do you expect me to be very wise and amazed? Yet at the same time, I'm supposed to hold my temper? No, I cannot do that. I was so furious. I wanted to take revenge for my king. No man the expedition, my violent love. So this horrific deed expedited or speeded my love, my deep love for Duncan, that I could not wait a moment. I immediately went and killed them. Outrun the pauser reason. Reason is called as the pauser, it is personified. But my violent love outran reason. Here lay Duncan, his silver skin laced with his golden blood, and his gashed stabs looked like a breach in nature. So his the golden blood was lacing his silver skin, and he cut such a horrifying figure. So deep pity and sympathy and grief, everything enveloped our Macbeth that he had to rush and kill the guards. For ruin's wasteful entrance there, the murderers steeped in the colors of their trade, their daggers unmannerly breached with gore. Who could refrain? These men, in contrast, on one side I'm seeing Duncan, Christ like Duncan, with his golden blood on him. And on the other side, I see these ruffians, these horrible guards, with their daggers bloodied. They looked so unnatural that the very being, the very a path of life, what is nature itself, was contaminated. Who could watch this? Who could refrain that had a heart to love, and in that heart courage to make love known? So he said, who that has a heart could bear such a sight, and who in that heart had courage could make that love not known? So I have the love that is outweighing all reason. I also have courage. In fact, he's telling us that he has more courage than all the gentlemen around and more love than all the others, that he sought his king's revenge instantly. Lady Macbeth, help me hence. How? So, Lady Macbeth, many reasons you can give her. She may be wanting to distract the crowd, so she pretends to faint so that she is now taking the attention to herself away from her husband. That is a bold action. On the other hand, in a way, Macduff could be right that she is proving to be the gentler sex, that she is unable to face the consequences of what she has done. Macduff, look to the lady, Malcolm. So now they are all carrying her out of the stage. All the attention is gone to her. She is, in a mess. She's crying out, perhaps fainting. Malcolm, to Donalbain, why do we hold our tongues that most may claim this argument for us? So Malcolm is asking Donalbain, why should we be quiet? You know, our position is in, why should we not make our anger or our fear known? Should we not question those around us? All these doubts are coming to the two sons. But here we see that in contrast to Duncan, who is so naive to a fault, we see that the sons are, quite clever. They seem to have the good virtues belonging to future kings. So, Donalbain, what should be spoken here where our fate, hidden in auger hole, may rush and seize us? Let's away, our tears are not yet brewed. We do not have time to tarry here. It will not be wise to cry or to show out our grief. For our fate, we are in danger. Somebody who has killed our father is standing amidst us. And such a person will definitely move to his next target. And who will that be? It will obviously be us, closest in line, descendants to our dear father. So the sons we can see are quite manly as well as clever. Malcolm, aside to Donalbain, not our strong sorrow upon the foot of motion. So let our sorrow not stop us from moving out of this place as quickly as possible. Banquo once again look to the lady. So we see that Lady Macbeth is carrying on her histrionics, her hysteria. She's being carried out. And when we have our naked frailties hid that suffer in exposure, let us meet and question this most bloody piece of work to know it further. Fear and scruples shake us. In the great hand of God I stand, and thence against the undivulged pretense I fight of treasonous malice. Now Banquo says, let us all retire. We are in our naked frailties. They have come out wearing their night gowns. They need to go back, wear the knight's clothes. They have to wear their armors, wield their swords and everything. They have to come in the, as soldiers. And once again, let us come and have a meeting here. And now Banquo, you see, again we see so many contrasts are there. Whereas Macbeth and Lady Macbeth were calling out to the evil forces to guide them, to guard them, to help them, we see Banquo calls upon merciful God. He says, on the great hand of God I stand. By God I swear, I will come to the conclusion of this and I will fight whoever has done this deed with undivulged pretense of treasonous malice. This malice, this hatred, that is treason. To kill the king is an act of treason. Let us, call on God and let us fight back our enemies. Macduff, He too joins. So do I. All, so all. Macbeth. Let's briefly put on manly readiness and meet in the hall together. So Macbeth asks them all to meet in the hall. All well contented. Malcolm, what will you do? Let's not consort with them. To show an unfelt sorrow is an office which the false man does easy. I will to England. So Malcolm tells Donalbain, let's not, come back for that meeting. We do not know who is behind this murder. And to show a false tongue, it's a very easy thing to show a false face. So we can't trust anyone in this circle right now. I'm going away to England. Donalbain, to Ireland I. Our separated fortune shall keep us both the safer. Where we are, there's daggers in men's smiles. The near in blood, the nearer bloody. So he says, I will go to Ireland while you are going to England. Because if we are joined, there is more danger because there would be a lookout for two princes who are trying to escape together. Let us go on two different paths and to two different kingdoms so that nobody will know that we have escaped. And he says that we are the nearest in blood to the king. So it is quite obvious, very definite that the killer of our father will soon try to kill us. So you can say they are very intelligent, very manly. Malcolm, this murderous shaft that's shot hath not yet lighted, and our safest way is to avoid the aim. This shaft, this poisonous arrow, this murderous shaft, it is not yet finished its work because whoever wants the throne will see that we both are standing in front of it still. So let us avoid the aim of that arrow, that bullet. Let us get away from it. Therefore, to horse, and let us not be dainty of leave taking, but shift away. There's warrant in the theft which steals itself when there's no mercy left. So it does not, we don't need to justify our actions. We know that our life is a danger. We do not need to justify or reason it out to anyone as to why we are taking leave or why we are not there for the funeral. You see, these boys, they are having to leave out the um, leave out even the funeral. They need to move forward. So thank you.